TimeWorks Touch has some new features you may want to know about. First, the employee print registration process now looks a little different. If you try to register an employee who already has a print enrolled, the clock lets you know. Then you can decide if you want to replace the enrolled print or move on. With print scoring, TimeWorks Touch also provides more feedback on the quality of a scanned print. Each of the 3 scans are scored on a scale of 0 to 100. A minimum score of 70 on at least one scanned print is required for successful registration. And an image for each scan helps the employee identify where on the prism they need to place their finger, or if they need to apply more or less pressure in a certain area. The scoring also appears when employees clock in and out. They will see the score and visual feedback whenever the clock is unable to match their print. TimeWorks Touch also includes 2 entry method alternatives for sites specifically using biometrics. Pin backup speeds up the punch process when fingerprints can't be matched for some reason. If an employee goes to punch the clock and TimeWorks Touch fails to match their print after 2 scans, they can enter a pin instead. This option is enabled in the TimeWorks Touch clock settings. It's called Enforce Biometric Scan with Pin Backup, and it supersedes the pin and biometric scan sign-in methods. In order to do this, you will need to add a pin in Employee Setup. That's done in the Logins field, and it has to be one of the first 3 logins. Whenever an employee does have to use their PIN, the timekeeping system records it and shows it on the time card as a fingerprint with a line through it. Now, if using a PIN to clock in and out is something you want to reserve for select employees, perhaps those with worn and unreadable fingerprints, you can use the other new feature, Trusted PIN. That option shows up as a button on the clock entry screen and allows certain employees to bypass the fingerprint scan entirely and enter a PIN. Your provider can enable the Trusted PIN functionality for you in your site's processing rules. It's under the Additional User Fields category. Once enabled, each employee record contains a TWT Trusted PIN field. If you set that to yes, the employee will be able to use the PIN entered in the Logins field to clock in and out. Lastly, I want to point out that the employee clock entry screens now have Spanish translation buttons. This includes the primary clock entry screen, the punch type selection screen, and the please try again screen. For more on TimeWorks Touch, make sure you check out our timekeeping knowledge base, help.twp.payrollservers.info, and thanks for watching.